The restaurant was almost empty, its golden lights reflecting on the windows like warm stars trying to soften the winter outside. Yet despite the soft music, the polished crystal, and the quiet hum from the kitchen, the table near the window felt painfully silent. Jonathan Hale, one of the youngest CEOs in the country, admired, feared, and envied, sat alone with a steaming plate of untouched food. Outside, snow drifted gently through the night, and families hurried past the glass with wrapped gifts and glowing smiles. The world felt full, except for the chair across from him. It was Christmas Eve. The one night of the year when everyone seemed to belong somewhere. Everyone except him. He tried to eat, tried to focus, but his mind wouldn't quiet. He had spent the entire year chasing deals, signing contracts bigger than most people dreamed of, breaking records, earning awards, yet here he was, alone, with no one to share even a simple holiday dinner with. His parents lived abroad now, his friends were scattered, and his last relationship had ended with the words, "You don't know how to be present for anyone but your work." She wasn't wrong. He sighed, set down his knife, and rubbed his forehead. That's when he heard it. A small voice, soft, hesitant, but clear enough to cut through the stillness. "Sir, can we eat with you?" Jonathan looked up. A little boy, maybe 7 or 8, stood beside his table. His woolen coat was thin, his boots small and worn. His cheeks were flushed from the cold, and snowflakes clung to his messy brown hair. But the boy's eyes, big, round, and hopeful, were what struck Jonathan the hardest. Behind him stood a woman, probably in her late 20s. She pulled her son gently back by the shoulders. "Ethan, sweetheart, no," the woman whispered, embarrassed and apologetic. "I'm so sorry, sir. He didn't mean." But the boy tugged her sleeve. "Mom, he's sitting alone too. Maybe he wants company." Jonathan felt something crack inside his chest, not in a painful way, but in a way that felt old and forgotten. Like a door opening after years of being sealed shut. He stood up quickly. "It's okay," he said, his voice unexpectedly warm. "Actually, I'd like that." The woman froze. "Are you sure? We don't want to bother you." "You're not bothering me," Jonathan said, and he meant it. "Please, join me." He pulled out the chair beside him for the boy, and the woman reluctantly took the seat opposite. Ethan immediately grinned, swinging his small feet under the table. "Mom," he said yes. "See? Told you he looked lonely." "Ethan," she hissed, mortified. "Don't say that." Jonathan laughed softly. "It's all right. The kid is honest, more honest than most people I know." The woman smiled weakly, still unsure. "I'm sorry. He just cares a lot about people. It gets him into trouble sometimes." "Best kind of trouble," Jonathan said. A waiter hurried over, confused at the sudden expansion of the CEO's single dinner reservation. But with a nod from Jonathan, 2 more place settings arrived. As they settled in, Jonathan noticed the woman's hands trembling slightly, whether from cold or nervousness, he couldn't tell. Her clothes, though clean, were faded. She looked like someone doing her best with very little. "I'm Jonathan," he finally said. "Anna," she replied. "And this is Ethan." "I'm 8. Ethan added proudly. "And I'm starving," Jonathan said, teasing lightly. "Should we fix that?" The boy lit up like a Christmas tree. Jonathan ordered the best dishes, roast chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, warm bread, pasta, and a treat for the boy. Anna tried to protest, but Jonathan insisted. While they waited, Ethan asked him endless questions. "Do you work here?" "No." "Are you rich?" "Ethan." "It's all right," Jonathan chuckled. "I suppose I do okay." "Then why are you alone?" The question hit too close. Anna's eyes widened as she apologized again and again. Jonathan shook his head. It's fine. Kids ask what adults are afraid to. So he explained, gently, simply, sometimes grown-ups get so busy trying to build a life, they forget to live it. Ethan frowned as if deeply offended by this concept. That sounds silly. Jonathan laughed again, really laughed this time. Dinner arrived, and for the first time in years, Jonathan ate slowly, enjoying every bite. But more than the food, he enjoyed the company, the warmth of normal conversation, the sound of Ethan's giggles, the soft glow of Anna's relieved smile as she watched her son eat happily. Soon Jonathan learned their story. Anna worked part-time at a bakery, went to evening classes to study bookkeeping, and did everything she could to raise Ethan alone. Their Christmas plans were simple. They had planned to buy one small meal from a local cafe and eat it at home. But the cafe had closed early, and in the freezing wind, Ethan spotted the restaurant's glowing windows. I told Mom we should just look inside and pretend we were eating fancy food, Ethan said cheerfully, munching bread. Anna covered her face. I didn't want to come in. But he was so cold, and I didn't think he'd ask a stranger if we could sit. Jonathan's chest tightened. Well, I'm glad he did. Through the meal, the tension that initially clouded Anna's posture faded. She laughed at her son's jokes, shared stories from her baking job, and even teased Jonathan when he spilled a bit of gravy on his sleeve. He found himself studying her, not in a romantic way, but in an admiring one. She was someone who fought hard, who carried her small world with quiet strength, someone who didn't complain even when life gave her every reason to. Mom works a lot, Ethan said suddenly. Sometimes she skips dinner so I can eat more. Jonathan felt his throat tighten. Anna, is that true? She looked down. Sometimes. But it's not a big deal. It is, he said softly. When dessert arrived, Ethan tried the chocolate cake and declared it the best thing in the universe, even better than cartoons, which made Jonathan laugh harder than he had in months. After they ate, Ethan excused himself to wash his hands. Jonathan waited until the boy was out of sight before speaking more seriously. You're doing a good job, he said. Anna blinked. I'm trying. You're doing more than that. He paused. Do you have any family around? She shook her head. Just us. How do you manage everything? Faith, she said. And Ethan. He keeps me going. Jonathan nodded slowly. Something about their small, fragile world tugged at him, maybe because it reminded him of everything he had lost chasing success. Maybe because he saw a kind of courage in Anna that no corporate titan had shown him. When Ethan came back, the energy returned to the table. He talked, laughed, asked more questions, and eventually yawned so widely that Anna chuckled and ruffled his hair. It's late. We should get going. Jonathan didn't want the evening to end. He had never felt such unexpected comfort, and now that it was here, he didn't want to return to the silence waiting for him. Let me drive you both home, he offered. Oh no, you've already done too much. I insist, he said gently. She hesitated, then agreed. They walked outside together. The city sparkled with Christmas lights. Snow crunched under their feet. Jonathan opened the car door for them, earning an excited, "This is the coolest car ever," from Ethan. The drive was peaceful. Ethan hummed Christmas songs in the back seat while Anna stared out the window, her expression soft and thoughtful. Jonathan pulled up to a small, worn apartment building. The hallway lights flickered, the stairwell railing wobbled, and the entrance door barely locked. "This is us," Anna said, embarrassed. "Thank you, for everything." Jonathan swallowed the urge to say it wasn't enough. He wanted to help, but he didn't want to disrespect her pride. "Can I carry anything upstairs for you?" She smiled faintly. "We're all right." But as she turned to go, Ethan ran back and hugged Jonathan's leg. "Thank you for eating with us," he said into Jonathan's blazer. It felt like like having